Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, November 27th, 2022. Tonight's video is going to be at the request of numerous of my viewers, so I'm not going to give any particular one special topic credit. I just will say that this topic was requested so often by subscribers in my email that I just felt it needed to be addressed. I'm discussing the recent Supreme Court case that was agreed to be heard by our Supreme Court. It's on the docket, Brunson versus Adams. Let me show you a couple of links, especially to a YouTube video that I found informative, despite the fact that the delivery wasn't quite my cup of tea. Let me show you what I'm talking about, since these are all sources that YouTube won't object to. First of all, you can see filed in the Supreme Court October 20th, Brunson versus Adams. It came out of the 10th District Court of Appeals, I think, on October 6th. And it shows up here on their official docket too. When I went to supremecourt.gov, I will have links for all of these in my video description. Now, a really nice, as far as content goes, 10-minute update about this was on this site here, Realist News. So you may want to listen to it. Like I said, I'm not advocating that you all become subscribers there, but he had a really nice breakdown of what this case is. You see, this case is asking the Supreme Court to rule on whether a lawful process was followed when there were legitimate questions raised by almost 100 of our representatives about the election results in 2020. I'm going to call it balloting from here on out in this video, just so I don't have issues, okay? Now, the beauty of this is the court is not being asked to make any kind of judgment about whether or not there was enough shenanigans in the to sway the results of the balloting at that time. They're simply raising the point that there was a 10-day review process that was required by law at that time that wasn't followed. And then they're further asking that the results of that balloting outcome be reversed, nullified, and then there'd be some big changes in our government structures for the people that didn't follow the lawful process, what have you. It's interesting that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear this case. Now, as I mentioned months ago when I talked about them, they need to worry about their legacy, because right now it's not looking good for them. This is a beautiful way for them to just simply make a ruling about the law. Was it followed? And stay out of any partisan politics as far as results of those balloting issues and what have you. So there's a lot of curiosity in the alt media community about what this ruling might be. And in my experience, the universe doesn't always want to give us sneak peeks on things like that. But I think we can ask the question of the universe tonight, and I'm going to, and I'll have to phrase it really carefully, not for YouTube, but just for the universe, because the universe is loving but a little literal. So I want to be real specific, especially since a couple months ago, I got when I asked that there had been a ruling not made public yet, I got a yes. So if we don't phrase this right, we could get muddied answers. So what I'd like to ask the universe is, the case has been agreed to be heard on an emergency basis, which means it doesn't have to follow the usual procedural rules. It's similar to the type that's held when there's a need for like a quick emergency response to like a capital punishment case for a stay of execution or something like that. So this emergency case of Brunson versus Adams that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear, as far as the public perception is going to be, will this be the vehicle for huge changes and reversals of some current appointments, and election results and representation. So will this be, at least for the public perception, the vehicle for a lot of change and corrections in our United States of America government? Let's see what the universe has to say. So there is a chance that this is all just for show, that behind the scenes things have been taken care of. We often hear that may be the case. So that's why I'm phrasing this as far as public perception goes, will this case be the vehicle for some major changes in the United States of America, representatives, balloting results, etc.? And how will it make us feel when that decision is rendered? Okay. We have the Queen of Wands, Two of Wands, Temperance, Nine of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. So we're kind of getting a yes, but a little more information. We got the Hierophant and Six of Swords. Well, it's interesting. Our question was, will this Supreme Court case be the vehicle by which the public is informed of some big changes coming down the pike with our elected officials and representation? The Queen of Wands shows up to kind of confirm that a little bit here, because she is a card that talks about inspiration. So it's funny that such a simple procedural item may be the catalyst for change that has been sought for months and months and months. The Queen of Wands is very self-assured and very straightforward, and can be almost brutally honest, so very direct. So we're being told that this case is actually inspired in its simplicity, and it's going to cause us to look at things in a new way and starting out fresh in a lot of ways. Now, we're being told with the recent past to Temperance, there was actually more that was sought and hoped for. So this is an avenue to show the world that our country can make corrections in a lawful way without coups and violence. And so they've had to temperance or moderate some of what they had hoped for, some of what the results and the timing of it. However, the Temperance card also is about the synchronicity and timing, how important it is. And moving forward, let's see what that means. Now we've got, for the present, we have the Nine of Swords, telling us, first of all, there's not nearly as much to worry about as we think we are. I'm just wondering, if this is also hinting that the actual verdict on this is going to be 6-3. We'll have to see. Most people have been saying it's pretty cut and dried. It ought to be 9-0, but let's wait and see. Okay, now here's our happy card. We have the Ace of Pentacles showing up here, and it's about success and contentment and just good things. And again, here's this gate going through, path to a new place. We're being reminded, though, that the current systems, the Hierophant is off of my deep state card. Even if it's not, it's talking about conformity and practical approaches. So if we look at it from that angle only, this is a very practical way to affect change that needs to be changed and make a correction that needs to be made. And maybe to let this current Supreme Court have a spot in the history books that they can be at least a little bit proud of. Look here, we've got a little clarification card here besides a yes. Not as much to worry about as we think we do, okay? This card is always about moving from a troubled place into a better place. Not necessarily moving fast. There's no motor on this, but it is going the right way. And it's going that way to protect young life and vulnerable, innocent life, which is what this is all about. Let's get a couple more cards, see if we can have some more clarity here. Got a big celebration card here as far as the judgment that the Queen indicates. So, and this is one where happy, safe children are dancing. Families are in celebration here. There's just no other way to read this. It's a very happy card. And then a little reminder here with the 8 of Swords that there may be still a little bit of waiting here before the resolution. As we know, if this was approved in full, there would still be a mandatory several-month period before we could have new elections or new balloting. So we may still have to, we'll have reason to celebrate, but we may still have to wait to get the final outcome that we desire and to have the final outcome that people that were treasonous deserve to face affected. So interesting, if there has been a ruling that was kept secret that would actually end up with a very similar outcome to this case, this is the case that then could be one used to bring it forward and have those changes start coming about. So for those of you that have said there was a secret ruling, this doesn't negate that. This is just a way to close the loop and let the public see a pretty cut and dried decision that on the face of it shouldn't be controversial. If there was important laws broken that were procedural in nature and it's proven, and it so far has come up through the courts, we'll see. But I'm very, very hopeful that this is the vehicle to be used, and that's why I phrased the question that way. So we're on the right path. It's going to happen, and hopefully on our timeline, this is it. This is it. So keep those positive intentions going, and let's pray for safety and success for any Alliance and White Hat workers of any sort anywhere. And we'll see what happens in the coming days or hours. Who knows? Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time. If you are a subscriber, I welcome you. If you had to resubscribe, I welcome you back. And if you're one of the generous people that help support what I do here through Buy Me a Coffee or listening to the ads in full or doing a tip, I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So until next time, keep smiling, keep the faith, and let's think and make good things happen with our thoughts and for everybody around us.